also be vulnerable to that security flaw, and I don't want that. So what I will do, I will tell you to correct that problem, or better, I will send a patch or a code change to you that if you write it like this security flaw will be gone. Okay, so see how we grow with each other, not alone. Now, the main problem is source code management. Suppose in in a fair big enough uh, open source project, there are basically thousands of people working together. Even if not thousand, at least hundreds of people working together. So hundreds of people working in the same code base together. How it is possible? You have to synchronize with each other. Otherwise, I will get like 10 days old version. You will get like today's version. Our code will differ, and the software will break eventually. Okay. Or you don't know what changes I have pushed. You don't. I don't know what changes you have done. So to fix that problem, we need a source code management system where these things can be tackled. We can like we can modify a code base parallelly without any conflicts. We can like do version management like stuff. We have obviously use apps. You know, there's like beta version, alpha version, it's version 1, version 2. How is that happening? When our code base is in a mature state, we assign a number to it to identify that yes, it is a functional product. But do we stop after that? No. We continue advancing or continue uh, making that software better. Okay. Then when we go to a certain stage, a certain stable stage, we uh, assign another number which is greater than previous. So that's how version 1, version 2, version 3 this becomes. So what is SCM or source code management? SCMs are used to give versions or revisions to the program that I have told you. Each version is given a timestamp and includes the person responsible for the change. Okay, so like I have done some changes, and like then I blame you that you made the change. Who will take the responsibility? Okay, there should be a ledger, there should be a record. Who have modified this, and the record should be unmodifiable by anyone. So source code management gives us that power too. Yeah, when I am doing a code change, my name will be assigned to that, and I have pointed the negative side. I should point the positive side also. Like it is not actually a positive side. Sorry. Like suppose I have written a program and you took the credit. You told someone, ki, "Yeah, I have written this." So how do I protect my intellectual property? So SCM also gives us a tool for that. Even various versions can be compared and merged with other versions. Suppose like you are making a change and I am also making change in the uh, same area. Okay. So you may have an approach, I may have a different approach. So uh, like how do teammates decide which one is better? They have to like see both of them together. So we can compare my code and your code parallelly with SCM, and like see if you are making a change and I am making a change in the same place, then there should be two different replicas of that, and those replicas should be managed also. Okay, there cannot be a random replica. So SCM enables us that also. This is why SCM is also referred to version control, revision control, or source control, and can be categorized into two parts: centralized version control and distributed version control. There are two parts of version control depending on how do you store it. Okay, centralized version control. The main concept of centralized version control is that it works in a client and server relationship. The repository is located in one place and allows access to the multiple clients. Okay, so suppose you are working in a company and you suppose you are building Google Meet. Okay, so you work at Google, and someone is responsible for the audio part, someone is responsible for the video part, someone is responsible for the UI elements and stuff. So we can't have those codes separated, right? Then how do we present to a user? They can't like fetch this thing from that URL and another thing from another. Basically the whole software will not work. They should be kept together. So what Google will do, Google will roll out a server and put whole codes there, the complete code there, and your and our personal machines will be contacting that server and making directly making changes to that server. Okay, so what I change you can see, and what you change I can see. Benefits: it's easy to understand, more GUI and IDE clients, more control over users and access. So if like you left Google, you shouldn't have access to that code base from now on. So Google can restrict you from accessing their secret code base. Drawbacks: depend on server access, can be slower, branching and merging strategies are difficult to use. What is branching and merging? I will go into that a little bit later. And depending on server access, if the server is down, you can't work, you can't fetch the codes. But it's easier because you do not have to personally maintain anything. You just open your ID, write some code, and save, and you just say key, okay, submit my changes to the server, and the changes are submitted. Now what we are going to look at is distributed version control. These systems are newer to use. In distributed version control, each user has their own copy of entire repository as well as the files and the history. And example of these are Git and Mercurial. Okay. So what is this? There is server involved, but the code isn't totally on the server. I mean, there is a copy, there is a server copy, there is a local copy. There are two copies of it. So even if the server is down, you can modify the code. Okay, and when the server is live, you can push the code like that. So benefits. What are the benefits? It's more beautiful, easy to. It's basically more powerful, easy to change tracking. Uh, like sorry, easy to track the changes. Okay. So how do we track the changes? Like in the centralized system, you have to request the server, like give me the changes.
এখন উঠতে পারো না, বিশ্বাস করে নিলে আমারও
It
খিদে
will give
পেয়েছে।
you the changes. But
আমি
when you
এখন
are in
সাড়ে
a
আটটা
local
পর্যন্ত কোথাও
environment,
উঠতে
or
পারবো না।
you have a copy and server as a copy, you can
আমিও জানি সেটা
basically,
কিছু করছে
as
কিনা, আমার
your
এখানে
local
OBS চলছে।
copy
আমার
is
OBS যে কোনো সময় হ্যাং
self-sufficient,
করে যেতে
you
পারে।
can you yourself can generate what are the changes and track accordingly.
আরে এরপরেই আমার আছে,
There is
আমারটা বলে
offline
নেওয়ার পর আমি যেতে পারি,
functionality,
কোনো
so
অসুবিধা
it's
নেই।
faster, but it's a little bit harder to understand.
মাকে বল না ফোন করে।
Less GUI clients, easier to have mistakes until familiar with that model.
মাকে বলে জাস্ট
Because
ঢুকিয়ে দেবে ওটা।
you have to write some commands that aren't available in the graphical tool yet. Some simple or most used tools are available in a graphical form, but some criticals are not. So let's go to version control graphical example. Suppose I need a pen. Sorry. I hope you can see my mouse. So this is called a common base. This is where the software development has started with some initial amount of codes. Then someone made changes and it went there. But you are also making changes and I am also making the changes. So what I will do, I will replicate this node and create my own copy. Okay. So suppose I am working on a feature and you are working on a bug fix. Okay. So you can do it independently. See how these changes are independent. Okay. This is your another release. This is your another release. Now it is a master tip. What is a master tip? Master tip is like what is visible to public directly now. because what is visible to public currently, that is called a master tip. Okay, and this is a feature tip. Why I am implementing a new feature that is not available to you yet, so it's not merged to the like the public branch. Okay, or the branch that is called the main, or the branch you should use to build a software. So then when my feature is ready completely, now I can deliver it to you. So what I will do to deliver it to you, I will merge this. See, I am pulling this and they are together again. And we give a commitment, a new merge commit. It's a new merge commit. Okay, what is a commit? When we like, I am constantly telling you, okay, we are pushing changes, we are pushing changes. When you push a change or when you submit a change, it creates a new commit. You are committing the code. Okay, there is a commitment involved that you can't deny. You are taking the responsibility, you are taking the credit, you are making the feature, and technically you are making the future also. So account in software industry there is some terminologies. I already said this is master is what which should be deployed, which is the main thing. Hot fix, there is a urgent fix that must be needed, like you haven't expected something, and in production when you deliver the product to the customer, some blunders happen, so we have to rapidly do that. Okay, now you can say ki, why do not we directly change it here, and why do we make a new branch then? uh, why do we need to make a new branch? Because we do not want to touch a functional product. If we touch a functional product, we may break another thing. So we'll copy it, make the changes, then we test rigorously that is the thing okay, or some other parts are broken. After confirming that no other parts are broken, then we'll merge and deliver to the user. Okay. Then see, there is a version 0.2, there is a new release, there is another release, there is version 1.6. We are implementing this now. There are releases. Releases what? Like you have heard of beta versions and stable versions like that. So you can like say the release versions, these release nodes are what the stable customers.
তুমি কোথায় ছিলে? ওপরে ছিলে?
The master nodes, they are also released, they are also released, but they are like your beta version or alpha versions. What is the develop versions? Develop versions are those versions like some we are doing heavy code changes that may bring a new feature, but that may break other things also. We are expecting to break the product down. So for that reasons we will go to that develop branch. And what is a feature branch? Like we want to implement a feature, but we do not want to set it to the public yet. Okay, we'll wait, we'll see some customer feedbacks, then we'll roll out. So these are in the feature branch. Or sometimes feature branch are those branch which are specifically cloned to implement a single feature only. So this is quite extensive things. Okay, are there any questions you can ask me now? Then I'll proceed. Already we have gone through half of the slides. Yeah.
গিটহাবে দুটো এমনি ব্রাঞ্চ থাকে। হ্যাঁ হ্যাঁ, মানে গিটহাবে তো দুটো ব্রাঞ্চ থাকে, মানে মানে অনেক কটাই থাকে, তার মধ্যে আমি দেখছি মাস্টারও আছে মেনও আছে, তাহলে দুটোর মধ্যে ফারাকটা কোথায়?
Master and main. Okay, so when you create a Git repository, okay, or GitHub is basically based on Git. Okay, I should have clarified that before. And what is Git we will discuss later, don't worry. Yeah, when we are creating these branches to like to track them, we give them a name. Like this is a I have said this is master branch, so this branch is called a master. Okay, what Vishwarup has said, there are some branch called main, some are called master. Okay, when Git was actually originally created, they named the default branch a master branch. Okay, you may use Git without this branching. You can use the source code management without using without having these multiple branches, but you must have at least one branch. That one branch default name was master, but there was a social movement 1 year back, like about this like what like racism and like this classism stuff. And so to respond to these, corporates have decided to we like if we call a branch master, then like why we are calling a branch master? Because that branch is a main branch, because that is the original branch that has been created, like that is the oldest branch. So all know the master and slave concept, how bad was that. So someone has told them ki, if we call a branch master, that glorifies that masters are bigger and others are smaller, other classes are actually lower class. So to that social reasons, GitHub and other organizations have decided ki, now from now on the default branch will be called main and not master. Okay, but for historical reasons, they have kept the master thing. Okay, because like before to 2020, or before like the last phase of 2019, every Git repository was created, the default branch name was master. Suddenly if we change, like we enforce the it must be main, otherwise will not be considered as default, then the all version management before 2020 will be broken. You can't do that now. So that's why.
Shomadip, I guess we can keep the Q&A in the last. We can start off as of now.
Okay.
Okay.
So
Yes.
oh, so there is a Git. Git is a version management system. Okay, and this is Subversion. It's also called SVN. This is also another version control system. And based on these version control systems, some services have emerged, like GitHub, Bitbucket, GitLab, and there are many others. And based on Subversion, there are Tortoise, SVN, and Google's source code management. There is a Google's source code management software that we don't use, but Google uses. That was previously based on Subversion system, but now they are migrated to Git. Okay. So now I can move. Okay. The source code management system or version control tools. What are these? We have to learn the names. Like GitHub, the GitLab, Bitbucket, SourceForge, Beanstalk, Apache, Allura, AWS CodeCommit, Launchpad, Bitbucket, Fabricator. I can't even pronounce properly. Whatever. I have personally used GitHub, and I have used Bitbucket too, but I mainly use GitHub, and most of the people mainly use GitHub, and the event is also for GitHub. So we'll discuss about that. And now let's get into Git. Okay. Oops. Get into Git. I have read this wrong first time also. I so I didn't always use version control, but when I use Git. You never used source control tool when you are a programmer. So when you are using when you are building even a short project should use version controlling. Uh, Obviously not your class assignments. Those are like those are very short things. So there's no need to use Git on that. But like you have in an assignment, suppose you have 50 programs, then you can use Git. We're going into the benefits of Git now. Then what is Git? It is a version control system. So it is a free and open source distributed version control system designed to handle everything from small to very large projects with speed and efficiency. Okay, so Git is free and Git itself is open source. Git is powering the open source now, but Git itself is open source, and it is a distributed version control system. Okay. And do you guys know who have built Git? The creator of Linux. Currently, the largest open source project and the oldest open source project. The creator of that thing also created Git. Actually, Git was originally invented to manage the code of Linux. Then Linus decided to public the Git source code also. So Git is also under Git, so it's kind of a recursive situation. Git is a distributed version control system for tracking changes in source code during software development. As I told you, the codes are changing all the time. We have to track that who changes what and like how many lines are changed. It is designed for coordinating work among programmers, but it can be used to track changes in any set of files. Like you can track changes in your music file also, but you shouldn't do that though, because like you aren't saving multiple songs in same name, do you? You don't. Every song has a unique characteristics. Every song has a unique name. So we do not actually use Git to track changes in music files because music files do not change. But like you are creating a document maybe. So document is changing over and over. You are changing the document over and over again. So version should be kept. A record should be kept to what change. And have you realized what feature you are getting? You are getting infinite amounts of redos and undos. Have you realized that? You can only do redo and do in Word or Excel when the document is open. You restart your computer and you can't like redo and do, or you close your Microsoft Excel, then open again. You can't use redo and undo. But in Git, like anyone can do infinite numbers of redos and undos. That's also a benefit. Like for people like me who do silly mistakes all the time. So what's Git's working model? Git basics and beginner's guide. So like Shagnita will like give you a hands-on. I am not going into that. But as you can see, there is a working directory. The directory you are working on, your files are saved for your file saved. Okay. Then there is indexing. Indexing what? Indexing the files. The files present in your working directory or folder. Then a Git local repository. So you like what is a repository? Repository is basically a folder that is able to facilitate Git. Okay, so that is a Git local repository. Suppose you are creating a folder and telling Git key track my changes here. Okay, then that folder is called Git local repository. Why local? It's residing in your system. And what is Git remote repository? When you submit the code to a remote server that is not your computer, that is called a Git remote repository. So what is GitHub? GitHub provides you a platform to host Git remote repositories. Okay, this is basically GitHub in one line. So see, this is local. Local means your computer. This total boundary is for your computer. Okay. So what you are doing? You are coding files. Okay. Your development working directory. You are writing codes and stuff. Then they are put into staging area. What is a staging area? Like Git is currently tracking it, what you have changed, but it haven't made a commit yet. What is a commit? You can call it a submission. Okay. So you haven't submit the files into Git yet, but it's already in the staging area. You like you even change a space. Like your file have contained 4 space bars and you have put another 5. Then also Git will consider. Then also Git will put that file into a staging state. Okay, because I have to Git will think I have to take this one space change also. So the files are indexed. Then the local repository, the committed files. Okay. Then you do commitment. When you do commit, the Git will say, okay, So these are your changes. These are your significant changes. I am saving this, and when you are like committing, it will ask you to give a message that what you have changed. It's not telling ki what lines of code you have changed. It's telling you why you have changed. You achieved what thing. I achieved that thing. Okay. So I will also share my screen and see you some examples if I get time. And Sharminda will guide you, will give you a hands-on GitHub too. So the remote Git server. Then when we have like committed the files here and submit the files, it is still on our system only. My partner can't see that. So what I will do, I will write git push. When I write git push, my local changes will be pushed to the uh, to the server. Okay. So now my friend can also see the changes, what changes I have done. So yeah. So what I have, like I used some of the Git terminologies here in describing Git, and we're going to like visualize them. Okay. So when you are writing a code, see, it's your working copy. You are working on it. Then you have saved it, and you have said, okay, there is significant changes, and now I should inform my teammates. So you do a commit. So commit is committed to the local repository, and the local repository gives you an update. Okay, I have updated this. This is your status, and you have like changed these things for these reasons. Now, what the local repository can do, it can like push the changes. If the changes are pushed, they are stored in a remote repository that anyone can access. So now see, this is your friend. Okay. So what he or she can do, he or she also has a working copy. But you have called your friend and said, ki, hey, I have changed some things. You should check that out. So what he will do, he will request the request git to pull something from the server. He will write like git pull. If he issues the command git pull, what the git remote repository will do, it will make a copy and give it to the local server, local repository. Local repository will like adjust it accordingly to the new changes and give this person an update. So he or she can check your code. Okay. Then they may have changed something. They will also commit. They will also do a pull, do a push. Okay. Then they called you and said, "Ki, yeah, I have also changed that. You should check that out." Then you can pull. Then you can get the update. Okay. You get the idea. Yes. It works both ways. Okay. So there may be another repository that are doing pull and push. Maybe there is no working person, there is no modification done there, but a pull and push is happening. Okay. Suppose our automated system or a bot that may be changing the version number automatically. Okay. It may happen. These are called CI/CD pipelines. We'll talk about that in another session, obviously. Okay. Why Git is widely accepted? It's distributed, it's compatible with anything, it's non-linear. What is non-linear? Because like I have already said, there are many branches. You can do branches to like to do stuff without risking the change of breaking. Okay. If you break your local copy, you can always delete that and make a new make a fresh copy. There is no problem. So it is not linear. It's not like you have to change in this manner only. You can like make another. I mean, follow another safety precautions or something. It's not like that. That's why it's popular. And the branching, that what I have told you, is branching. The branching is possible due to the non-linearity nature of Git. It's lightweight. You do not even feel any like obligations of this unlimited undo and redo feature you are getting. It's speed, it's open source, it's reliable, secure, and due to all of this, it's economical also. Some basic Git commands. Git config. Using Git config, you basically tell Git who are you, like your name, your email ID, Okay, sometimes your digital signature also to provide Git tag. Okay, otherwise how Git will know who is making the changes? How uh, do Git protect you? Git init. If you write Git init in a folder, that folder will turn into a Git repository. I mean, if you write Git init, you mean you are telling it to initialize itself. So from now on, Git will track each and everything you do in that folder. You can do Git clone. Okay, path to repository. So what is Git clone? Suppose I have written a software and you want to like contribute to it. So what you will do? You will copy my code. Okay. So, but if you just Control C and Control V something, then the history of the code changes done before will be lost. So what you will do? You will do a Git clone. If you do a Git clone, you will get the code but also with the history, so you can check out the history also, and you do not break the norms of open source, because those previous parts were written by me and the new parts are written by you, so my record should be kept no, along with yourself. Okay. So git add file name. So when you like say git add, it will be staged and prepared, will be prepared the commit. Okay, from git add you tell git key which files I want to commit in the next one. Okay. Git add star, if you do a git add star, then each and every file will be added. And then finally git commit dash m commit message. If you do a git commit, the files you have added will be finally committed to the git system and a new history will be created. You are basically creating a history, and you should give a pretty good name to your history. Okay. And you write that message in this commit message section. And git commit dash a, like, this does some amendment stuff. Git A is probably for amendment. Okay, I forgot that. And what is amendment? There is a code called git amend also, git commit amend. What is git commit amend? Basically, it's undoing a whole commit. I have told you, you get infinite number of undos and redos. And git push origin master. Yes, it's pushing your local repository to the uh, server or to the remote repository, so they can synchronize with themselves. Then there are git remote add origin server. I mean, suppose you are creating a local git server, local git repository, and that local git repository isn't informed that which server is responsible to manage it. So we will give the IP of the server or URL of the server, and it will know, okay, so when you do a git push, I have to submit it to this server only, not any other server. What is git pull? If there is any changes in the remote repository, it will be copied to a local repository. What is git diff? You basically like see the difference between two commits. Okay, so this is for git diff. And then is git log, what you have done till now, the history. You can check that out using git log. Then git checkout. What is git checkout doing? It is switching between branches. Okay, now you are in a master branch, but you want to work in a like separate copy, or you want to work in a new feature. What you will do? You will shift to the feature branch. I will do, you will write git checkout feature and press enter. So you are now deviated into the feature branch. Then git push is saving the changes. Okay, the difference between this git push origin master and the git push is that when you do a git push origin master, only master branch will be submitted uh, to the server. But if you do git push, each and every branch will be submitted to the server. These are minor differences. And the git status. What is the git status? It will check the index of your files and will tell you which files are tracked, which files are modified, which files are not modified, which files are not into the staging area yet. This kind of things. So what is GitHub? This I have already told you what is GitHub. GitHub is a platform that enables you to host Git repositories. It's basically a giant who knows how to manage multiple remote repositories, who manages remote repositories for you and for free. You get most of the features for free. Who will do that for you? Yeah, I mean, except GitHub and some other organizations also do that though, like GitLab and Bitbucket.
Shomuji,
Yeah.
I guess we can skip the history part and simply go to the hands-on session.
Okay.
Okay.
So I will do like quick skip through.
Yes, yes.
Yeah. So GitHub was founded by Nat Friedman, the current CEO of GitHub. Okay. So he it is an American MNC, and they have started like providing this hosting for software development and version control using Git. Okay. Currently a subsidiary of Microsoft from 2018. In 2018, Microsoft acquired GitHub, so it's now a part of GitHub. So the history, like it was developed with Ruby on Rails. It's Ruby on Rails is a framework. The Ruby is the like the language, programming language. The site has used over 1 million users and have over 5 million repositories. See, the 5 million remote repositories they are managing currently as of 2019 actually. And in 2012, the evaluation was 750 million after they have raised 100 million in funding from Horowitz. I am surely pronouncing his name wrong. Sorry. And to the timeline, 2016 they got into Forbes list. Then 2018 they were acquired by Microsoft. Then 2020 they introduced a archive program. What is in the archive program? They basically taking your code and like putting it into a long lasting tape, and they are burying into the I think North Pole. Okay, either North Pole or South Pole. What is the goal of that? If human civilization ends and some another civilizations comes into play, so they can see our work, what we have created. That was the idea. And the highlights, the Atom. Atom is a code editor, just like you are already familiar with VS Code and stuff. So Atom was created by GitHub itself. And then Electron is a software framework. Okay, from that you can basically build a desktop application using JavaScript. You will be surprised that VS Code is built upon Electron. Okay, under the hood it uses Electron, and it's a open source giant. It's the biggest platform for open source services. What services do they provide? They provide version control systems, source code management, and education program. Uh, we are here to discuss about the education program. You are getting this session because of the education program. The marketplace services, the GitHub pages, you can host your site for free. I have hosted my site for free. Then there are GitHub Enterprise for companies, and you'll also get a GitHub Enterprise account at the end of the session. The market, the SaaS models or software as a service model. I mean, GitHub is itself a software. They allows you to use their software at a certain fee. This is called a SaaS model or software as a service model. There is a value proposition. The value proposition is that anybody can host their software code on GitHub servers and collaborate it by multiple developers, teams, and organizations. So you can also today create a Git repository and push code there. There is no charge, no like restriction. Just do not copy some other's code and claim it to be like yourselves. Then you may get into troubles because that is basically stealing something. The freemium model, their revenue model is a freemium model. That means they give uh, people some services free and some services are paid. Then working with GitHub. This Octocat. Okay, Octocat is GitHub's mascot. This is a local machine. You're doing fetching latest code from the master. From where do you fetch the code? From GitHub itself, or what you have previously written, or what someone else have written. You are copying that code. You are creating branch of the master, because you should always create a new branch when you are doing heavy changes. you are, you are writing the code, you are committing to that branch, and you are pushing the changes, push to the remote branch. The remote branch is what? That is kept by the GitHub. The branch kept monitored by the GitHub. Okay, you are pushing the changes. Someone is making a pull request. What is a pull request? When you merging two different branches together, okay, then it is called like, you cannot directly just merge them. You have to request the code owner. Suppose you are contributing to my code, you can just randomly write a code and submit to this, and GitHub will not accept that. A request, you should uh, like give me a request. I have done these changes, and you should like take my code. So you do a pull request, then I'll review your code, and if I agree, yeah, your code is good enough, and yeah, I want to have that feature, then I will merge it to the master branch. Okay, so now your code is live and available to the general customer. These are the GitHub workflows. This is the master branch, then you create a branch, then a new branch is created that is separated from the master branch. So like existing users do not suffer. You commit changes, like you are committing changes, and changes are committed to that respective branch only. That is not affecting the masters. So we are not risking the customers. Suppose we did a critical bug fix that was not required to make a new branch. Maybe it's a small change that we have, then that's why we have directly committed here. Or it can be a new release also. Okay, we're releasing uh, like new versions without like submitting this feature. A feature may take 1 or 2 years to develop completely. Okay. So we can't stop the total development for one feature now, so we can do that parallel. Then do a pull request, then the maintainers, the organization leads will give you feedbacks, will test the changes if everything is okay or not, and if it's okay, it's merged to the master branch. So normal users can avail that feature. Okay. So again, the same thing, files are committed using git.add. The files are added to the staging area, the files you want to commit. Then you do a git commit. It's your local repository, basically it's committed to a local repository. Then you do git push origin master, it is submitted to the GitHub. Then you will do a git clone, git pull, then the GitHub's copy will be downloaded to your computer. What is a fork? Suppose I am a external entity and I want to uh, copy your code, but to copy like to contribute to your code, I should make another copy for mine. Okay, so when we when we do it in a local machine like GitHub to local, then it's called a git clone. But when you do GitHub to another GitHub repository, between two GitHub repositories, no local machines are involved, then it's called a fork. Okay, but and sorry, but I am already committed to GitHub, and I will request Shaganta to take over with the hands-on.
Thank you,
GitHub.
Shomadip. So you can stop your presentation and start.
Yeah.
Okay. Yep. 1 second. So before I start presenting, please write on the chat whether you are using Windows or Linux, because Git for Windows and Linux are different. So please inform whether you are using Windows or Linux. Okay, so one Linux, Windows, Linux, Windows. Okay, so for both the section, the things are different. So I will try to explain as much as possible. I am currently using Linux, and I request all of you to start using Linux, because there is no alternative for Linux in the field of development.
But do not worry, most of the things can be directly translated to the Windows also.
Yes.
Okay. Most of the things will not change.
Yes. So I will start with the hands-on session. So first of all, basically, I will briefly sum up what we have talked. We have talked about what is Git, what is GitHub. You have known the history, you know how it will work. Now in your head, the terms are there, right? So what is basically, what are we doing with the git add, git pull? So you know what are things that I'll be doing, and this will be very much useful for you. Okay, so now I will simply just go to the hands-on session. So first of all, let us look how a GitHub repository look like, right? So my screen is visible to everyone?
Yes, I think the
Yeah,
screen
okay.
is visible.
Okay, so let's look at a GitHub repository, how it will look like. Okay, so this is my GitHub profile. Okay, so this portion is called the readme. Okay, the readme is basically when someone visits your profile, what he or she sees in your profile. Okay, this is the readme. This is a relatively new feature for GitHub. Okay, now below that there are the popular repositories. Okay, so popular repository means if there is any stars on your profile repository. Stars means someone comes, someone basically bookmarks your repository and they likes it and they bookmarks it. Okay, and this is the contribution section. Okay, so you can see how much I have contributed, how much I have contributed in recent times. Okay, and what kind of commits I created. As Shomodeep told that GitHub is open source. Open source means you can see what I did. If the profile is the repository is private, you cannot see, but if the repository is public, you can see. So see, these are my repos. So these are the repository section. Okay, so repository is often mentioned as repo. Okay, so these are my repository section. These repositories I have created. So I will show you how to create your first repository and host your website. Okay, so now these are the kind of repositories here. We can click on any of the repositories. So let's say I'm clicking on the Streamlit tutorial. Okay, so in this Streamlit tutorial there are various options. So code, issues, pull request, actions, project, wiki, security, insight, setting. But don't be overwhelmed with it. We will not discuss all of this because we don't need all of this as of now for a basic tutorial. Okay, so this is the branch. Okay, so if there is more than one branch, main branch, so let's say I have development branch, so let's say I'm collaborating with Shomodeep. So Shomodeep can have his personal branch, Shomodeep branch. Okay, so Shomodeep have his own branch, Shomodeep branch. I can have Shagnik branch. There will be another development branch. So certain branches can be there, and this shows how many branches are there. If there is any tags attached to your repository, it will be shown here, and these are the codes. Okay, so one thing about GitHub is, so we obviously will use an ID for GitHub, but we don't need to. We can also code on GitHub only if we want to change some small things. Okay, so let's say I'm going on the calculator.py. So see, I can see my code, what I have coded here. Okay, and I can also edit the code here and can do the changes. Okay, so let's say I want to change, enter the first number, and then I want to add 3 exclamation marks. So I have changed it. I can preview the changes. Okay, so what changes I did. So this is the basically difference, what difference I made. So what changes I have did, I can see in the preview changes section. The left red portion is what was the previous part, and the right green portion is what is the now part. Okay, so now you will tell that okay, but if I remove this, how it will show, I will show you. See, if I do the previous changes, it is showing minus minus. So why it is showing minus, but I haven't minus both? No, GitHub takes changes as if I am writing second in place of first, it will remove the first and update the second. Okay, so minus it have removed the 2 lines and added the 1 line. The line I have added. Okay, so now I can simply write update calculator pi. It is okay. So updated the file and removed one of the lines. Okay, and I can simply commit the changes. Okay, so I can commit the changes. This portion is done. Okay, so this is how easy GitHub is. Okay, so don't be overwhelmed with the different features of GitHub because it is easy. Okay, so 1 second, let me just take the Meet to a different window. Yes, so all of you have GitHub profiles. If anyone don't have GitHub profile, please write a no in the chat, then I will show the process. Otherwise I will skip that and directly go to the GitHub hands-on session. If anyone is not having a GitHub profile, please write no in the chat. Okay. Yes. So it is nothing bad in having not having a GitHub profile. Okay. So we will show you how to create one. Okay. So so I will go this part a little bit faster. Okay. So yes. So write github.com. Okay. Search on Google github.com, and the first will be GitHub where Word builds software. Okay. So here, so I have logged in. So you will not be logged in. Yeah, you will go to this screen. Okay. So here you can see sign up for GitHub. Okay. So in the sign up for GitHub, click on sign up for GitHub, and this is a simple process. Give your username, email address, and password, and it will send you a verification mail and just verify you and create your account. Okay. I have just created an account using this process, and here it is. Okay. So you can see there are don't have any repositories yet. Okay. So this is just a new profile. So you can create your GitHub profile once, and the process is very easy. So let's create our first GitHub repository, right? So first click on new. Whether you have an old GitHub account or just a new GitHub account, you can click on this. Okay, no issues. So I will write my email ID and password. You will also have your password. Remember your password, and if you forgot your password, no problem. So I will create a repository name. So let's give first repository. Remember one thing, GitHub don't support plus. It will always. So if I give a space, so see, it will, your new repository will be created as first hyphen repos. Okay. So it don't support spaces. Okay. It will always replace spaces. Right. So don't give spaces at first. Okay. So first hyphen repository. Okay. And the description will be let's say this is my first repository. Okay. And we can add a readme file. So what is a readme file? Readme defines itself. Readme means some people come to your profile, they see the repository and they can see what this repository does. Okay. So there is no point of keeping a blank readme on your repository on your profile. If you have a readme, update it. Okay. I will show you how to update a readme. So click on add readme and create a repository. Okay. So is this creating the repository at the first thing that we did? Is it clear to everyone? If clear, write yes, and it is not clear, write no. If there will be one no, I will explain it again. Okay. So please use the chat to interact, because the hands-on session will be always interactive, because if the hands-on session is not interactive, there is no point of the hands-on session. Okay. So Bishwarup, what problem did you face? If you can please unmute and say.
You
please it will be easier for everyone if you can speak in English.
Okay. First, while opening an account, it showed to you that there would be a repository, or you just manually created a new one.
I manually added. Okay. So you can ask your questions at the end. Okay. This is a particular problem. Okay. So this is my first repository, and let's say now let's quickly jump to Git, because Git will be a bit lengthy. Okay. So now what is Git? So Shomadip explained what is Git. You know, this is a version control tool. Okay. So if you can search Git for those, you can search Git for Windows. So git scm.com/downloads. So I am pasting the link in the chat. Okay. So this is the downloading link for Git for Windows. So you can simply click on go on this and click on Windows. Okay. And after clicking on Windows, your download will start, and you can simply run it. Okay. And this is not a problem. And if you are on Linux, so you can simply click on Linux and see, this is the whole process how to install Git. So sudo apt-get install Git. So I am writing the command. Just open your terminal. You can open your terminal by going on your desktop and right click and open in terminal, and you can write sudo apt-get install Git. Okay. So okay, it is done. So just by writing this, your Git setup is done. Okay. So now after writing this, after installing Git, so for those who are using the Windows, so they will have a Git bash. Okay, so Git bash looks something like this. Okay, yes, so something like this Git bash look like. Okay, so they both are very similar, and also I will show you how to use VS Code as the basically Git tool. Then you don't have to write any command, but also can manage through GitHub, manage through VS Code. Okay, so we have created our first repository. What is the next step that Shomodeep told you? Okay, so we have created our first repository. Then we have to bring the repository to our local machine. So we have to copy that. So copy that means in GitHub's term it is clone. So we have to git clone. So git will be cloning. So it is self-explanatory that it will, the command will be git clone. Okay, so I am opening my terminal. Also after opening your terminal, so let's say you are on your home screen. So always make a first folder. Okay, so don't be on your home screen and create all the folders and clone everything there. So let's say so I have already a GitHub folder. Okay, yes, so I have a, yes, so I go to, yes, so this is my basically GitHub folder. Okay, so in this folder I do all the GitHub stuffs that I do in this folder. If I do the ls means list the files. Okay, list the files and folders that are there. Okay, so you can see these are all the projects that are cloned in my local machine. So I can just simply write git clone. Now what to clone? So for cloning you can all click on code. So it will be a green button, and then use git or checkout with svn using the web URL. So what is the URL? So this is the URL. Simply click on this. Yes, sorry. Also, so if this is your first time, always do git config, and after the git config, wait 1 second. So see, this is the config, and in the configuration you can simply git config your username and password. I will share you the 1 second. I will share you the command. So git config is basically setting up your local machine for your particular GitHub account. Okay, so basically so here is the code. So I have shared the code. You can simply copy and paste it, and remember one thing, you have to write Ctrl Shift V for pasting. Okay, and for Windows you have to write Shift Insert after opening git bash. Okay, so yes, so this is the git config global username, and for the password this is basically git config global user.password, user.email, and then your email. Okay, so this is the basically the setting process, git configuration. Okay, so after configuring you will be okay, and then just create a folder. How to create a folder? You can simply write, so let me clear this and let me increase the font. Yes, so you can simply write mkdir and new folder. Okay, so mkdir new folder means a new folder will be created there. Okay, so let's go to that folder, new folder. Okay, so I'm in the new folder. So now I can clone, git clone. Okay, so now I have to copy this, and after copying this I have to paste it here. Okay, so I can simply paste it, and it will show cloning into first repository. So unpacking objects 100%, 3 out of 3. So after it shows 100% means it is done. Okay, and now after doing this, so this is okay. So now you have VS Code. Everyone has VS Code. If anyone don't have VS Code, please write on the chat. I will share the VS Code download link then, because I and I guess 90% of the people here uses VS Code, and it is always good to use VS Code. If anyone don't have VS Code, please write. So I will share the download link then. Okay, so I guess everyone has VS Code. Okay, Anurag, so this is
You just continue. I will share the link.
Okay. So you can simply open your terminal and write code space dot. Okay, so code space dot is basically the VS Code command. Code space dot means it will open the folder where you are currently in. Okay, so I wrote code space dot and it will open my VS Code and open the particular repository. Okay, so VS Code has a particular beautiful feature that it have a integrated terminal. Okay, so you can use that integrated terminal for using the git commands. Okay, but we can also use terminal, no problem in that. So it has the readme.md file. Okay, so let's update the readme.md file. Okay, so this is basically the markdown. So how to use markdown and what markdown does. Markdown have a particular cheat sheet. So Manish, if you can share the markdown cheat sheet with them.
Yeah, all right, I will share.
Okay, so this is my first repository. Okay, in this repository I will demonstrate the use of GitHub. Okay, so just write something. That doesn't matter what you write, just write something. Okay, and now go to your terminal and see, and so we have to move to the folder. Okay, so cd first repository, and now see git status. Okay, so git status means Shomodeep already told you, it will show that no changes added to the commit, modified readme.md. So there are 4 stages, remember. So there are 4 stages. Okay, always remember this, there are 4 stages. So let me increase the font a bit. Yes, so there are first is changing in your local machine. Okay, so you are changing, you are modifying the code in your local machine. Okay, after that you are staging. So staging means preparing your file or preparing your repository for commit. So what is a commit? So commit is basically I am okay with my local machine. So if I give an example, so let's say you are going to school. Okay, we have to go to college. So there are, what is the processes? That first I have to wake up. So this is basically the changing of my state. Okay, so I was in a different state and now I am in a vacant state. So the Anurag will go through that part later. Don't go to the student developer program now. So we are waking up now. So after waking up, we have to prepare ourselves for getting ready for the school. Okay, and now once it is done, we are ready for going to school. So we are committed. Okay, so we are committed, and after committed, we have to push ourselves to the school. Okay, so the school is basically GitHub, and our home is basically your local repository. Once you commit, you are ready for going to school, and after pushing, you are on to the school. Okay, so staging, committing, and pushing. Okay, so these are the 4 stages. Okay, so till this portion, till the commit portion, it is all in our local machine. Okay, and so please ignore my typos, and this is basically local to remote machines. Okay, so staging means basically preparing our files or folders for committing. Okay, so now simply save this. So to save, you can simply Ctrl S, or you can go to file and click on save, and after saving it, you can simply go to your terminal and see the new git status. So in git status, it is modified. So for that, you need to write the command git add star. So what is star? Star means you are committing all the files that are there. Okay, so git add star. Okay, now star is done. So now see our git status. Git status always show you what is the status if it is committed. Okay, so now modified readme.md changes to be committed. What is it showing in the first? Changes are not staged for commit. Okay, now it is showing changes to be committed. So now it is in the staged file, it is in the stage state. Okay, and from stage we will commit them to prepare for our push. Okay, so now you can simply write git commit, and already Shomodeep told you that you have to write -m, and after -m you can write the message. So this was my first commit to GitHub. Okay, so let's write this. Okay, so you can simply write enter, one file change, 13 insertions. Okay, so why it is 13, you have to understand why it is 13. 13 is basically how many lines are there, 15, and how many lines were previously there, 2. So 15 minus 2 is 13. So basically there are, for this reason, this is they are basically 13 insertion. Okay, so now I will see my git status. So git status is your branch is ahead of origin main by one commit. Use git push to publish your local commit. So see, it tells you everything what need to be done. You don't need to worry about anything. So you can simply write git push and it is pushed. So username, I can give my username as Shagnik Mitra. So this will be not be on your case because I have done one thing for every push. I have changed my settings. So your settings will be default. Once you configure, there will be no change. Okay. Okay. So why it is having this? So now let's think about why it is having. So why is this error? You have to remember that you have to be your particular GitHub username. Okay, so if I want to push again, so I can simply write GitHub SNU, and after that I can write the password. One second, there must be a password issue. Yes, so writing object total done. Okay, so how we can check? So now see, so the GitHub repository is now what? First repository, this is my repository. I have not refreshed yet. Once I refresh, it will change. See, it changed. So I didn't do anything in my GitHub profile. I just did everything from my local machine. So this is basically how to set up your local repository. Okay, so now
1 minute.
Yes.
Can you explain again why at the first time there was an error while pushing your repository?
Yes, the pushing your repository error, basically I wrote a different username. Okay, I wrote my username, but I am in the GitHub SNU folder. So always remember, your primary profile may be different. Okay, your primary profile may be say Bishwarup, for Bishwarup it will be Bishwarup Rai, but say you are logged into GitHub SNU. So for that case, you cannot write your primary username. You have to write in which username we want to push it. Okay, because you don't have access for everything. So so I have pushed. Okay, so now it is understood that how you can push it. Okay, but now one thing, we also have a extension for git. Okay, you can simply write git on your VSCode and install the git. Okay, so there are different extension you can install, and once you do this, okay, so you have the option to do everything from your direct your repository. Okay, direct your repository from VSCode. Okay, so how it is done, I will show you a bit later. So first let me go to the portion on what is GitHub Pages. Okay, so GitHub Pages is basically how you can host your repository. Okay, for every username there is one root hosting. So username.github.io. So if I host my GitHub SNU profile, it will be gone to GitHub SNU.github.io. So if you want to host your website or personal portfolio, what Shomadip told you, say, all the personal portfolios. So let's say so basically this is Shomadip's portfolio, and it is on github.io hosted. So see, it is on github.io. Okay, so it is basically hosted through GitHub, so you don't need to write or purchase any of this. So basically it is only from GitHub. Okay, so to do this, so see what it is written unsuitable 001, and if I go to Shomadip's GitHub, you can see his username is exactly unsuitable 001. So you understand that username.github.io is the format. So let's create a new repository, and what will be the repository name? My username basically GitHub SNU.github.io. GitHub SNU.github.io. If your username is Shubham, Shubham.github.io. If your username is Gaurav, Gaurav.github.io. As simple as that. Okay, you can add a readme file and create a repository. Okay, so after creating that repository, So let's make some changes. So we can obviously go to our local machine and clone it. So I told you once, you can simply understand it better as of now. So we don't want to extend the session all the bit. So github snu.github.io. So let's write something. Okay. So all the hash I am doing it. This is basically the markdown cheat sheet. Manish already told you what a markdown cheat sheet link. The link is in the top. So I am against sending it. So let's say, so this is my website, and so let's say you want to link to your let's say Facebook profile or a LinkedIn profile. Okay, so I can write LinkedIn. So this is basically the syntax. All the syntax you can find in the guide I just sent you in the chat. So let's say my LinkedIn profile is basically linkedin.com/in/Shagnik. Your can be different, and you can just simply go to preview. So it will look like this. You can click on LinkedIn and it will open my LinkedIn. Okay, I'm not going to my LinkedIn. Yes. So this is my changes as of now. Okay, so I can add anything to it. So okay, I can write so there is a bullet point. So 1 2 3 4. Okay, so these are there. So you can see there is 1 2 3 4. So this is basically a demo changes. This will not be your website, right? You shouldn't write 1 2 3 4 on your website. So this is basically for the demonstration purpose. So I have committed it. Okay, so now I can simply click on settings, and after clicking on settings there will be an option called pages. So you can simply go to pages, and your site is ready to be published at github.snu.github.io. So I can simply click on this and see my github.snu.github.io is published. Okay, so I can simply click on root. So the repository is published, so no issue in that. Okay, so if I add something to this repository, so let's say I have an HTML file, I want to add it here. Okay, so then it will be changed. So let's add something. So let's add a file. So create a new file. Okay, and let's say index.html. Okay, and let's copy something. Demo index.html file. Okay, so you can search on HTML examples from the W3 schools. So I'm copying the link. So for testing purpose, you can go to here. Yeah, so basically say HTML document. Okay, so I can simply copy this and paste it on my index.html file. Okay, so see the preview. So this is the file. Okay, so I can commit the new file. I can go on settings, I can go on my pages, GitHub pages, and once I go on my GitHub pages, my site is ready to be published at github.io. Okay, so my site is published. So let's give you an example. Now give you a real example. So this was a demo account. So now go to my account. Okay, so this is my account, and if I search for shagnikmitra.github.io, okay, so this is basically my repository. Okay, that is hosted there, that is hosted on my website. See this shagnik.tech, this is basically a redirection, you will learn later. So see, I have updated my files here and just set up my GitHub pages. The GitHub pages setup is as easy as going to your settings and then going to your pages and updating the settings. Okay, so you can see your site is published at the branch master. Okay, so these are the simple things. So now, so let's go to how to use VSCode as a Git control tool. Okay, so VSCode also have an option for Git control tool. Yeah, so let's open my GitHub folders, one of my GitHub folders. So let's GitHub Shagnik. So let's say anything. So let's say this UR shortener the Django. Okay, so I can simply open this. So see, so this is how a repository opens. You can right click on the folder and go on to your VS Code and change the settings. Okay, so let's say so this is the readme.md. Okay, so URL shortener Django. So this is a change done today. Okay, so I can simply save it, and after saving it, you have the git installed, the source control installed, and once you save it, you can simply go to your terminal and change the settings, or else you can directly be we can doing this through VS Code. Okay, so you can simply click on share. So this is one. So why this is one? Because I have changed one file. Okay, so if I click on one file, you can see, so the working tree is loading. So I have added one file. So I can simply click on this plus. This plus is basically staging. Okay, so after staging it, I can simply click on this write. This write is basically for commit. After clicking on write, it will show me save all and commit. I can save all and commit. I can write a message on the top. So message for committing, and I can simply commit it. Okay, so after committing it, I can simply go on this, and what is the last stage? Push, and I can simply push it. Okay, so once I push it, see there is 0 1, it will be done to nothing. Okay, so this is how you can use the VS Code for your GitHub profile updatation. So so I guess now I will leave to Manish for the more extensive GitHub pages support. Okay, Manish, over to you.
Okay, thank you, Sagnik. So let me share my screen. Just a second. Okay, is my screen visible or not? Let me know.
Yes, it
Hello?
is visible.
All right, good. Okay, so basically, why do we use GitHub pages? So this might be a question, like there are lots of things available already, and there are also free tools are available. But why do we should use GitHub, and GitHub, why did they made GitHub pages? Okay, so basically, being a developer or being a developer, you need a portfolio. Plus, when you build softwares, you do need like documentation for your software or your project. Like basically, whenever you are going to like contribute to a project, like if it's an open source project, you don't just directly go to the code base, right? You first need to understand your the like project, what it really needs and how it exactly works, and how to set up it in your system and other thing. Okay, so where all these things find you can find, so you can basically you just need to go through the documentation of the project or the product which where you gonna contribute. All right, so basically GitHub pages will like remove this kind of hustle where you like need to config, deploy, you need to like take care about CDN, apps, database, packages and all. Okay, so the GitHub pages help you to remove these barriers, and you can focus on your development, and you can and after development, if it come to documentation part, you can directly use GitHub pages. They will help you to do end-to-end process. You don't need to like add anything. You just need to, like, generally what happens, suppose my you till now you understood, right? Like what is main branch, what is different branches, like hotfix branches, as Samidup told you. So basically documentation is also have a branch. So when you are creating a project, and with the project you also need to create a documentation page, and in the and that documentation page will be created on the different branch, and that branch should be hosted on GitHub pages. All right, so this is how GitHub pages works. So like this is the main motto of GitHub pages. So suppose, and also with GitHub pages you can like also build its like if you want to build something dynamic like blogging site or something, you can use Jekyll. Okay, Jekyll is one of the like major platform supported by GitHub pages. So Jekyll is like itself a very huge topic. I also covered in my last session, but today we are not gonna cover Jekyll because it will gonna take another 1.5 hours. Okay. So today we will just talk about GitHub pages, how we are going to create and deploy. So till now, I hope you understand like how to clone a project and how to deploy this same on the GitHub pages, right? So now this is already covered by Sagnik, that you can create your own website and portfolio site by your username.github.io. So I'm not gonna repeat this. So yeah, and this is also covered by him. Git cheat sheet. You will yeah. So basically now I will just show you like you and your okay. Let me share my whole screen. for now you get to know about how to you can
Devajyoti.
directly from repository and from terminal. Okay, and right now I will create one site and create one repository, and I will directly deploy it on my website on my GitHub pages. Okay. Okay, is my screen
এটা
visible?
GitHub এর একটা ইভেন্ট চলছে।
Yeah, it's visible.
All right. So basically, okay, I just need to create one repository. Yeah, there is one more special repository that's too by GitHub. You can like create a you can create a repository. Just go to new repository.
কে গো?
And
Nandu?
there is a special repository, but I can't use this because I have already created this repository. You just need to add your add your username only. You don't need to write github.io. As my username is Manish Banwal, you can just create you just write this on your repository section. You can find this message by Google by GitHub, sorry. So this you find a secret. Manish Banwal has your repository name is a special repository that you can use to add a readme.md to your GitHub profile. Make sure it's public and initialize with a readme to get started. Okay, it doesn't require any GitHub pages support and all. It's just a unique feature by Google, sorry, by GitHub, and you need to do this public and then just create the repository. Okay, so once you create the repository, you can find it here like this. You can see the repository URL. This is github.com/username/username. Okay, I hope you got this point. And whatever you whatever you change here, it will directly show in your profile directly. Okay, you can see this. All right, like this. You can add these things from like there are already many templates are already available, but like GitHub also give you a template. Let me show you. This is the readme file of my. You can also create your own readme file. The readme will automatically detected by GitHub, and they will create your profile page. Just click on pencil button. So this is going like this for me, but if you are going if you are come to my repository and trying to do this, it will not going to happen. You as like Soumyadeep and Sagnik told you that you need to first clone the repository, then you can edit or make changes, because this is my repository and you don't have the direct access to this. All right, so now you can see, you can get a raw view. All right, so when you create first time, you will see this much of content. Let me show you. Yeah, this much. This part will be seen to you. So suppose if I just use this, just a second. So you can see right now I remove my all contents and updated this. Why it's showing? Because this is under comment. We just need to remove this comment. Yeah. Okay. Now you can see, you will able to see this template. You will be given this given this template by GitHub. Okay, and you can make changes there. So you can also add your how to reach me, ask me about, and there are numerous amount of templates already available on internet. You can check this. And also I will not stretch this very much, because it's quite easy. It's totally upon your creativity how you are gonna design this. You can get multiple number of many designs on internet. There are templates to design your profile. So I'm not gonna stretch this. So let me change to my previous. Okay, so this one is special feature of GitHub. So they released this few months back, so you can try this. All right, so this much in this, and let me do a activity thing, so you can interact much, and you will do hands-on. I hope right now till here you already have GitHub account, and you just need GitHub. You don't even need Git installed in your PC system. All right, you just need a GitHub account. Okay, so what I'm going to do, I'm just creating a repository. campus hub 101. All right. So this is campus on I've written here, and I'm doing this private, initializing the readme file, and create repo. Simple. All right. So this is a type of fun event. Like this will be activity for you guys. I'm just editing this. All right. Thanks for being here. Add your name with GitHub ID, and your feedback on this event. Okay. So I have made few changes. You can see here. All right. So now I will creating a template. For example, I am adding my name as I told in the message. My name is Kumar Bernal. Okay. And I will add my GitHub URL also, so that our audience and you itself can connect with us, and even you can know each other. All right. So just add our URL. Like this is a syntax you need to learn. Like it will very basic syntax. You can get this syntax on the cheat sheet also. I have like given you already that. And now add your feedback.
मैंने कुछ निवेदन
I'm just adding a feedback. Example feedback. I really enjoyed interacting with you all. Okay. So you can see the changes has been done. I have added a bullet point. My Kumar Bernal, I really enjoyed the session. All right. So now what is your task? You just need to fork this repository. I will share the link. Fork this repository and just add a bullet point like this and add your name. Like for example, I am adding a name Sagnik Mitra, and for example his URL is GitHub.
Just Shagnik Mitra.
Yeah. So yeah, you can see, and you just adding this much only. You can see it's going to visible like this. So I am just updating, committing changes. Now what is your task? You can see. Let me also push it to our GitHub pages, so that every one of you can access it from a URL also. Let me check the settings. I hope you know this much. Like already Sagnik has covered this. In pages, you just need to update. As I have already already installed GitHub pages here. So just save. Yep. So I am good to go. Now you can see this here. Sorry, it will take you some time. Just let me enforce HTTP. You can check your build here. Like it's build or not. It's showing build. So let me refresh.
হ্যাঁ আচ্ছা আচ্ছা আরে এই ইভেন্টটা চলছে
You can see the GitHub pages is updated.
না না এই তো
So now whatever the changes you will made, and I will merge your pull request. So your whatever you add, it will reflect on this URL. This is the URL. So now what is your task? You just need to fork this repository from here. This is a fork button. Once you fork, you just need to edit it. You can directly edit this from your web. This is the pencil button. You can directly edit your file from here. So just press enter, and add your name and your feedback. Okay, it's very simple. You just need to enter, and you will see a bullet point, and just give a square bracket your name and the GitHub URL. As like you can just copy this format also. Just copy this format like this, and just It's just to let you know how the workflow like goes on. Like when you like complete the changes, you will you will see a like button to push your changes. Okay, once you push the changes in my profile, it will seen here in the pull request section, and I will merge it. Okay, and then it will be shown in this UI. Okay, so let me share this, and you can start working on it. All right. So once you complete this, you will receive certificate. Those names are here. We will only issue the certificate to them only. All right.
Yes,
So,
and we'll also send the process through your email how to do it, what Manish just told you. And once you
Yep.
do this, and once your name is added to this, we need to verify this with the GitHub admin team, and they will verify and generate the certificate. Okay. Yes.
Yeah. All right, Sagnik. So
Yes, so,
you can
so
continue
now,
from
yes,
here.
so now, okay, so now this is basically the, see, one thing that we cannot cover all of the things in one session because GitHub is so vast. We just covered the basics, and after that, if you are interested, you can talk to us, you can personally chat to us. There is a WhatsApp link. Shubham, can you please paste the WhatsApp group link here, the GitHub
Yeah,
SNU
sure.
hub? Yeah,
Sure,
okay,
sure.
okay. And after that, so after that, but what is the basically GitHub Campus program? Why we are talking about this? What is a GitHub Campus Hub, and what are you doing from here? What benefits are you getting? For all that, I will ask Shubham to continue with the session. Shubham, over to you.
Yeah. Thanks, Agni. So I will just share my screen just a minute. So is my screen visible? My screen is visible, right?
Yes.
Okay. So let's quickly tell you that we are towards the end of the session for today, and now
hello,
comes the interesting part about
hello,
like how
अच्छे
can
से
you use
बोलना,
and use the Git, this
अच्छे
Git
से
and
बोलना.
GitHub for
सुन,
competitive coding.
वॉइस में
Like
थोड़ा
it's not
एनर्जी लाना जब
a
बोलना.
serious
सर
issue
मत
to be
बोलना,
used.
ठीक
Like
है?
you
उसका
don't need
फर्स्ट
to
नेम
use
से
that,
बोलना, ठीक है?
but it's a good
बेस्ट
practice
ऑफ
to do
लक.
so. It's a personal
Best of
choice
luck,
about
sir.
about how one can use GitHub as their tool for competitive programming. There are many pros of doing so. Like one can access any past solutions from anywhere. GitHub is a nice place to store your solutions for free. It has a nice code review, a code search feature. It might be helpful in searching some old codes. Some solutions also require version control feature of Git, as already discussed by my fellow speakers. A good example is of the Code Chef challenges program, the Code Chef challenge problems in the long contest, especially. It is usually a NP complete optimization problem that is judged by a custom judge. So solutions to such problems usually include a combination of multiple technique. Version control can be helpful there. It's also used to share a set of solutions with teammates or anyone in general. Services like IDE1.com or pastebin.com are also available to share solutions, but GitHub is easier if you share multiple solutions with multiple people over a long period of time. One has to just to browse through the repos and share the links. And others can see your solutions, potentially find a better way or quicker way to solve your problem, because CP is all about speed. And people can also learn your quick hacks like macros or templates. So this was all about competitive coding. But yeah, one good practice is that don't copy anyone's code, or like if you are taking part in a contest, don't leak the solutions in GitHub, or otherwise that may be a breach of the code of conduct. So yeah, you should use it to your advantage and not to your disadvantage. So let's now understand what is this GitHub Developer Student Stack and GitHub Campus program and all the other things. So we gathered here for this GitHub Students Developer Pack. Everybody needs this. This is the best in-class tools which are available on the internet. So at first, let's see what is that. Everybody of you might have GitHub accounts right now, like by now, by the end of the session. So we have here, you can see this logo, right? Or this highlight. I have a pro, like in my account, I have a pro highlight. I have a pro badge. So what does this mean? What is this and how to get one? What is the advantage for this? So I will tell you what that is. This is due to this GitHub Student Developer Pack, which I have already redeemed on my account. So once you redeem this pack on your account, it will also be shown as a pro, but you need to do things like a pro. So how to do things like a pro? Like for everything, we need something, right? Like for designing posters, we need Canva. For hosting websites, we need domains. So this is what exactly GitHub Students Developer Pack does. We have many offers like DigitalOcean. I think all of you know Canva, where one can create professional looking graphics and designs. So what if we get the student developer pack? What we will get is a 12 months free subscription of Canva's Pro tier. That's huge benefit. We can get domains for free, like 1-year domain, 1-year SSL certificate. We can, I think all of you know about JetBrains. We can also get best-in-class domains, emails, and hosting for 1 free year. Like you don't have to pay a single penny, no, not any credit card details, not any debit card details. Just go and buy it, and you will be getting a domain of your own. Like the CodeShare SNU website is also hosted on this domain, which I redeemed for free from this GitHub Students Developer Pack. For someone who is a game developer, he can get the Unity Student Plan free while he or she is a student. If you want to host an app or deploy and run and manage your apps, you can also use the Heroku. You will get 1 free hobby dyno for up to 2 years. You can get tech domains and many other things which can be redeemed. The best in class feature for this is that if you want to apply for the GitHub Campus Experts program, it is just like the Microsoft Student Ambassador program. It's just like any other student ambassador program, but yeah, like we have many student ambassador programs, right? We have Coding Ninja student ambassador, we have Prep Coding like campus ambassadors, but we have some premium campus ambassadors program, like the Microsoft one is the premium one. Like that, we have a same program called GitHub Campus Experts. So if you want to become a part of this, you can always click on learn and get to know more about this by searching in Google for GitHub Campus Experts. And if you want to apply, you must have this student developer pack. If you don't have the student developer pack, you can't apply in one. So I will quickly show you about how to get your pack. So first of all, you click on, you write Google, GitHub Student Developer Pack on Google, and you will be redirected to a website. Click on the first search result. You will be redirected to this website. That's education.github.com/pack/join. I will give this in the chat window. Yeah. So here are some things which are I will tell you something that how to apply for this. So as a student, you can apply for the GitHub Student Developer Pack, which includes offers and benefits from GitHub and partners. What are the requirements for the same? To be eligible, you must for the GitHub Developer Pack, you must be enrolled in a degree or diploma granting course of study, such as a high school, a secondary school, a college, university, homeschool, or similar education institution. Like right now, we are in a university, so you can always select the university/college. You have to have a verifiable school issued email address. Like I guess all of you have got the school verified email address at snuindia.in domain. You need to have that. You also need to upload your proof for the current enrollment status, like that of an ID card. You must have a GitHub account. You must be 13 years old, and in the ID card, it must be clearly shown about the date of expiry, so that you can the date of expiry of the ID card. Like when you will be out of this college, there might be an expiry date, right? Like for students who are in first year right now, they will be having an expiry date of 2024. For us who are in third year, we will have an expiry date of 2022. Like that, you have to upload that. So this was a huge task which you need to do before applying to this. So what we did is that we became a part of the GitHub Campus program. So what we did is that we removed all these hassles in between, and just people who are having these domains can directly apply to it. So you need to click here that yes, I am a student, and then it will be redirecting you to another site where you can see these benefits. So you can see here all the things are written, how to qualify. So you can see what email do you require for school. Like this is the one for our university, for our GitHub SNU hub. So if I write here Sister Nivedita University, you can see SNU shows up here, right? What we see that we require applicants of SNU to use one of the school issued email addresses. Like I have a @gmail.com address, so I can't apply through it. You need to have a SNUindia.in domain or a SNU.ac.in domain. So I guess everybody of you, most of you have received your IDs. So what you need to do is you just need to add your email address. Like maybe many of you have a GitHub account already. So if you have a GitHub account already on your personal email account, then you can just click on this option, that is add an email address. When you click on this account, it will show here like a small text box, and you can click here by clicking here. When you click on this button right here, it will take you to the email settings, and you can add an email address. Like if I need to add, you can add any address with the SNU India domain or SNU.ac.in domain. And once you do that, you will get an option here. Like I have an option here called GitHub SNU@gmail.com. You will get another option like GitHub SNU@SNUindia.com.in or your own email address which you have, and then you can apply to it. Like let me quickly select it, and when you do that, you can just click on your university. And then you can just write some small lines like how do you plan to use GitHub, like for code collaboration, for version management, and etc. And click on continue. Within 10 seconds, your GitHub Pro account will be ready. you will get all these features which are mentioned here, a total of 132 features and or maybe benefits you can call it as. You will get it quickly. So I can tell you that if you have your accounts ready, like that the one of SNUindia.in domain, you quickly go to this website. You quickly go to this website and you can get the process started. If you have any doubts, you can always message us in the WhatsApp group. And if anybody is doing it right now, I can help him or her out. Has anybody an issue about the mail addresses?
Yes, Shubham, the second year SNU student didn't get one, but it
Yeah,
will be
yeah,
fixed
yeah.
by
They
the
will.
college. So yes, yes.
Yeah, they will get it soon.
Yes.
For any, so like that, you can apply to it. Apply for this. One more thing which I require to tell you is that you can see that this is the GitHub Campus Program Partner Schools page. You can notice that there are many campus hubs all over the world. And in India, particularly in West Bengal, we have only three of them. This is just a issue of showing SNU twice. That's not an issue. So we have three of them. Earlier we used to have two of them. That is the Praxis Business School and Bennett University Noida. They have some issues with this, I guess, because Noida is not in West Bengal, as far as I know. So you can see that in our place where we have our SNU campus, we can see that our campus is one in the three campuses all over West Bengal to have who are a part of this prestigious campus program. This campus program features you many important things. Like we can't cover all of those in a session. Like we have enterprise licenses for everyone. We are still figuring out on how to roll out enterprise editions to everyone. We have nearly 25K account accesses for this enterprise edition. So yeah, that's what I wanted to tell you. And one more thing that will fetch the attention of you all, that we have swags for everybody. I have ordered just 500 campus swags for each and every one of us. So if you take part in our chapter, if you become a part of our chapter, this campus hub, you can always redeem your swag. If you take part, if you become a source, if you become a force for the open source, you can already redeem your goodies. So that was it from my side about what is GitHub Pro and how to use it, how to do that. So if you have any issues regarding this particular topic about GitHub Pro or how to request one, you can just quickly ask me out right now about any issues for the GitHub Student Developer Pack. Anyone having any issues?
Yes, I am trying to redeem it right now.
Yeah.
So I have to just add my university issued mail, right?
Yeah. What's the email address you're using?
Bishorup.00686
at
SNUindia.
So you see a page like this?
Yes.
Yes. So you are seeing your email address is written here, right? When you select it, you
Yes.
have to select that. You just give your university's name, that is Sister Nivedita University here, and you select on the search option, which is on the first for that, and you will see that, and you have to write how to plan to use GitHub and click on continue. What is the issue you're having?
Okay, I didn't do that. I just clicked add email address.
No, you have to add your email address. If you already haven't done, you need to add your name of the university. You have to write that how do you plan to use GitHub, like for version management or anything for which you are using, and then click on continue.
Okay, so first I have to add my email.
Is your GitHub account on the email which you are using right now, or it is a personal email, like personal GitHub account?
Yes, my GitHub account is on the email I am using right now.
So your GitHub account was created with the SNUindia domain, right?
No.
Then it was created on the Gmail domain.
No, he just need to.
Sorry.
You just need to add the email ID at that place.
Yeah, if you have like this, that you don't have logged in from the university domain and you have logged into a personal address, like it is showing like Bishorup something @gmail.com, then you need to add the email address for the SNUindia one. When you click on the add the email address, you can click here, as you can see in the screen. You can add the email address here, like anything, and click on add. You will have to do a small verification, like a small OTP or something will be sent to your mail address, and it will get added. Once it gets added, you come here and refresh this page, and you will see your new email address here.
Okay.
Yeah. So you continue on doing that. We are here for like more 10 to 15 minutes. We will help you out. Any more issues from anyone else?
Yes, sir. Any previous issues about GitHub or anything you can also tell. Any problem you having accessing to your repository or GitHub or VS Code or anything, you can tell us. We will be will be having another 10 minutes here.
Yeah. Any sorts of questions are welcome.
Yes.
I have a couple of them.
Yes.
Can I start?
Yes.
Okay. Okay, so
one second, Vishnu. A student from different colleges don't have dedicated mail ID. They use Gmail or their personal email. What they should do? Like, I don't have dedicated email account. I use Gmail account. So Anuja, the problem is like GitHub Campus Express or GitHub Pro is a particularly for school email IDs. Okay, so you just contact your school, contact your university or contact your college that I want an university mail ID. They can simply like add your name and generate your mail ID. Like my email ID is shagnik.008185@snuindia.in. So this domain you need to have. From gmail.com you can't have this, so you can simply ask your college administration, then they can issue it, no problem. And Gaurav Kumar is asking, can you show how VS Code used for C? Gaurav, I will answer your question after Bisharup's question. Bisharup, go on with your question.
Just a minute. I just need to add on what Shagnik said. That Anuja, I think you are from. I don't think you are from SNU, or like you are from some other college. I don't know. So what you can do is that if your university gives you a university issued domain mail address, then that's fine. You can go ahead with that. But if you don't get from that, and you need to check with your college whether your college is a part of the GitHub campus program or not. If they're not a part of the campus program, then you can use your personal mail address. As I told you that you have to submit your personal identity card and all the other huge things which we need to do. You can always go to that site which I mentioned right here in this site, that getyourpack.com, that pack/join, and they will help you out. You can just give your mail ID, and if your university's name is not in this list, you can if your university's name is not in this list, then you can always apply with your plain Gmail account. But if your university is in this list, then I guess there are some particular domains which you need to add. Yeah, be sure you can have your problem right now.
Okay, so from a repository, remote repository, if I want to copy a single file, what can I do? Or if at all it is possible?
Yes, it is possible, but you need to open that file and go to the raw version, and then you can download it or copy it. But it is always good to fork the repository first and then clone it, or made your changes there.
Actually, if you do that, you are actually breaking the law of the version control. Okay, then if you just copy and paste a single file, then the version control will not work.
Okay.
The version control is repository wide.
Because open source is not for copying. Okay, open source is for, like, you can fork someone's repository. It is not that if you fork someone's repository, it will show that it is your own repository. Below your repository, it will show that fork from username / the repository name. Okay, so always first fork, don't copy, just first fork everything. Whatever repo you want to use, just fork, because there are different licenses for GitHub. Say there are MIT license, there are Apache license, there are different licenses. Okay. Yes, thank you, Anuja, no problem. And Gaurav, can you show how VS Code used for C? Okay, this is not related, but okay, I will still show you. 1 second. Everyone, I know that this is a problem for many of you, because you don't get an option to once you right click on VS Code and click on run, and it doesn't run. Okay, it is a read-only file, it is a read-only terminal. Basically you can change it. I will show you how to change it. 1 second. So my screen is visible to everyone?
Yes, it's visible.
So let's say so you can simply for writing a C file, so let's say yes, so I can write the code, I can click on save, and I can click on run code. Okay, and once I click on run code, and it will directly go to terminal and run my code. So no issue in this. So what particular problem are you having, Gaurav? Can you tell me?
Actually, I install VS Code, but I don't know how to use.
Okay, so for that you can check out any of the basic tutorials on YouTube, because this is a basically session related to GitHub, so we don't need to like discuss anything else.
Okay,
Okay, so you can
okay.
check on
Thank you,
GitHub.
thank you.
Yes. No, they don't need to install mingw, because in the current versions mingw is already installed. If you are having problem with mingw, many of the laptops have problem with mingw, then for them there is a compiler called tdm gcc compiler. Okay, tdm gcc compiler, you can also install that. Okay, so that's all about running C. Anything else? Any more problems?
Can I?
Yes.
Suppose I want to move a certain file from one one branch to another. What should I do?
So for that you can like, the movement is not possible. A branch is basically, there is a main branch. Okay, in that main branch, the main repository is there, and there are certain different branch where you can develop your own code and you can merge them. So for that the code is git merge. Okay, git merge, then the your repository name and where you want to push. Okay, so for that you use git merge.
Okay, so the problem I was facing that triggered my question was that I just uploaded certain files to the master branch,
Yes.
and when I'm opening my page,
Yes.
it is not showing in the main page, and I have to move to the master page to view them. But I think in order to show to the main page, I need to put them in main. So what can I do regarding that?
Yes, you can simply just merge your branch to the main branch. Okay, and if you are having problem, so if you are having any particular problem, you can simply delete that repository and create a same name repository again, and then paste the code files there. Okay, so this is basically a noob tip basically from me. I do this. Okay, if I am having a particular problem, I am messed up with my, there is a problem with my merging, you can always do this. Okay, no problem. Anurag, if I am using VS Code in Ubuntu, do I need mingw? No. For Ubuntu you would need nothing. You can directly run on terminal. You can simply click on gedit. So for all them who are asking, so let's go to cd, let's make a folder. Okay, so you can see my screen, right? Yes. So Anurag, for you this is you can simply write mkdir folder, then you can go to cd folder and simply click on gedit, let's say file name .c, and once you write that, your text editor will open, and once your text editor will open, you can run the file and save the code. So you can directly do it from here, no issues. Any more questions?
Dada, one question.
Yes.
Dada, if I want to run this code in VS Code,
Yes.
then I'll save it and then I'll right click on run open in VS Code, then it will compile.
Yes,
right?
yes. No, not compile. It will open your VS Code. Then afterward, you need to right click and run code. And one problem you guys might be facing, that in my case, if I run, click on run code, it will run. But in your case, it might not run because your settings might not be okay. So for that, you need to go to settings. Okay, so you need to go to settings, and once you go to settings, so like run code on terminal. Okay, run code, and you can simply run code, and see these are the options in integrated terminal, and you can simply click on whether to whether to run code in integrated terminal. Okay, so I am pasting this. Just go to your so go to your VS Code settings and write this code runner run in terminal. Okay, so once you search this, you will get the option. If it is checked, you can also give your inputs in VS Code once you run the code, and if it is not, it will be a read only output. Okay, so you can simply go to your settings and do this, so no issues. Any more questions? Any more
Thank you,
questions
Dada.
on GitHub? Yes.
Anyone has redeemed the Pro right now?
Yes, so anyone
Successful to do so?
write on the chat.
Biswarup, did you do that?
No, I am in the process of doing that.
Okay.
I am just adding the email address. Then what to do? I just mentioned it and added in the email settings.
What you do is that you just wait for a few minutes. If we don't have any other questions, you share your screen and I will solve it.
Yes, and also you can contact after the event. Contact after the event. Yes, because we don't need to stretch for some particular someone. If anyone has any particular general questions about GitHub or applying for GitHub student program or student developer pack, you can ask, or else we will end the event because it had already been 2 hours and 15 minutes. We will not try to keep it more.
Yeah, you can always get to us in the WhatsApp group.
You can always get to us in the WhatsApp groups, and also you can get through us in the mail ID. So I'm sharing the GitHub SNU mail ID. You can always contact us here for any particular problem. Yes.
Dada, I have given the pull request in GitHub. That the
Okay.
feedback part.
Okay. So all of your pull requests will be accepted after 10 p.m. Okay. So after 10 p.m. all your pull requests will be accepted. Everyone send the pull request. How to send the pull request? If you have done already, it is great. If you haven't done, we will send you the mail ID, what task you need to done, and all the resources that are shared here. You can share it here. Okay, so afterwards you can follow the task, and after you complete the task, we have the list here. We'll be sharing the list with the GitHub admins. The GitHub admins will confirm your task, and they will generate your certificate and send it to us, and we will send you. Okay, no problem in that. If anyone has any problem, you can tell us. So all of us social medias, you can always connect to us in the social medias, and also the deck that we the presentation that we showed is also uploaded on Google Drive, and we will share the link in the mail also. Okay, so you will simply receive a mail after 9:30 or 10, between 9:30 or 10. In that mail, all the details it is related to GitHub, related to VS Code, related to your task, related to the deck, related to how to apply for student developer program, related to all the sites and links will all be mentioned there. So do follow that mail, and do follow us on GitHub, follow us on LinkedIn. If you want, you can connect to us on any of the social media platforms. So I guess no one have any more questions, so we can end the event. If anyone has any particular question, please unmute and ask, else we will end because it is stretching a bit.
Last question, a small question. Can you just briefly again define the difference between Git pull and Git clone?
Yes, so the Git pull and Git clone are completely different because it is same in a way that it is all for fetching. Okay, so Git pull is basically, so let's say me and Shubham both are working on a code. Okay, so Shubham, both are working on the same repository, same branch. Okay, so Shubham updated something say tonight, and I am working on that code tomorrow. Okay, so I have to Git pull to update my code with Shubham's code. Okay, so whatever Shubham updated in the main repository, that is there, but I am behind that, so I have to update that. And Git clone is basically cloning a repository. So let's say I'm going to my GitHub account, and I can clone any of the repositories. Cloning means I have cloned all the things, and pulling means I am having the code, I am having a particular previous version of the code, I have pulled and currently updating with my current version. Okay, so that is basically the difference between Git pull and Git clone. So just remember these commands. I am telling it for the one last time. Git add is for basically staging, Git commit is basically for committing, and Git push. Okay, Git push is basically for pushing. Okay, and this is for you. If anyone else had pushed, you need to write Git pull or Git fetch to fetch or pull the current updates. Okay, so I guess that's all for the event. thank you everyone for joining. Many of you have left and many of you are there. All of you who are there, thank you everyone for joining. So it was a great event. I know we couldn't cover all the things in brief because it will take more than 4 to 5 hours to complete all the things. Okay, so in case of anything, you can contact to any one of us. Okay, so if you are from SNU and you are in second year, you will like people Shreya, Shomodip, you will all of you will get the mail IDs. I guess your CRs have talked to the teachers. Okay, so once you get